interim in the transition between the two.
Agreed, Reptar. Reptar, the voice of reason. Do I like the gameplay? I do, actually. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lou. Most of this gameplay, or most of this VOD review has been just me watching you guys and then talking about what you just did. Rather than like talk, because like you guys literally, there isn't another team that plays like you guys tentatively. The closest one I can think of is Click from EU. So it's not like, I can't sit here and be like, like, you know, oh, there's a circle. All right, well, this is where you are. All right, rotate here and here and here, because you guys don't do that. You guys have called every circle up until now perfectly. You know where the circle's gonna go, and then you're just like, all right, let's fight over here. I can't do much other than just sit back and talk about what happened. But I certainly have given a lot of input and criticism on things. But in terms of like predicting how you guys play, there's not much to do other than sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? I know what you guys' game plan is. But there are certain, like, all I've really reviewed are execution errors more than anything. But so far so good. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Two teams overlook.
Okay, I'm gonna loop fast and look to go.
How was the stream, Lou?
Yeah, I think we loop fast as shit. I think we loop fast as
Yo, Redad, thank you for the 510 bits. Appreciate that. Not just 500, but 10 as well.
If you find select auto fire, let me know, okay?
Also, Lou, how come you don't like Wingman on Jibby?
I got a Skull Piercer already. Havoc here. I got Skull Piercer Blue Heavy Mag.
Blue gold.
Someone was telling me in my chat you don't like Wingman on Jibby.
I'm lagging.
A little bit. Good zone. Fucking good zone for cutting people off. Huge.
Again, chat. Let's talk about that comm right there. One you won't hear from any other team. Every other team's gonna be like, hold up. Every other team's gonna be like, alright, it's ending here, whatever. Alright, we can take this, blah, blah, blah. Complexity, the only team that comms, it's a good zone for cutting people off.
Good zone. Fucking good zone for cutting people off. Huge. Yeah.
I don't think, so, I think the Wingman used to feel different in terms of like, that shit used to kick across your screen hard, but I think Wingman on Jibby is fine now. Every time I've played, I mean, I haven't played Jibby as much as you have, but every time I've played it, it's felt fine to me. The only thing I don't like on Jibby is Eva, and it's only because I don't like it. Personally, I don't like ADSing that shit. It feels weird to me, but that's a personal thing. I just haven't gotten good with it.
I think I did.
Do you ever loot top? You always loot top, right?
Yeah, I always loot top. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I've basically just been speeding your fucking footage up.
We have a couple options for looking for kills here. We have Skyhook and Cap.
Again, not much I can talk about in terms of like what you should do. You guys literally just look for kills. That's what you do. So we sit back and enjoy the ride.
There's a blue armor up in the building.
Yeah, I have a dip.
Yeah, I mean, you don't technically need to ADS the Eva. The only reason you need to, the only reason you would literally need to ADS the Eva is if you're playing Gibraltar. That's big. Prowler's so good, dude.
Coming over here.
I need energy, but I'm good. Actually, I have 180.
Prowler's so fucking good.
Alright, am I looking to posture overlook?
Yeah. Go towards. We need to go towards fragment east.
I don't think going back up to Skyhook is a bad idea either.
Yeah.
If we don't find anything immediate entry. Because Skyhook's gonna be the least congested rotate for teams.
Yeah.
What up? I think this is like 100 million% of drill side zone, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe lava
Something
fissure.
like that.
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts of like trying to posture over and try to like hold a spot where you can get kills, but also hold a spot?
How much is it?
Yes, this will be on YouTube, Shred.
Yeah, there's 20 teams is the thing, so.
There's still
You hear
gonna be
that?
a lot of teams
By
rotating
Mirage
as well.
Voyage?
Yeah. We're just in the center now. We don't know how many teams have rotated yet, so we could be in between literally 5 teams. We have to be careful here.
Good little mental note of all the teams. Always very important to do.
Chill here. I still think going back up
Count
to
the
Skyhook-
teams and like the drops and stuff like that, and always think about the teams that are rotating around you.
What about going in a tunnel and trying to trap a team rotating through tunnel?
You hear them fighting?
In
Wanna go for that?
I mean,
How many kills should they be getting per game to make this strategy viable? I mean, honestly, like, I don't think there's like a certain, well, I guess there could be technically a certain number. The difficulty with is just saying, oh, you need X amount of kills per game to make it viable is that you got to keep in mind placement is always a thing, right? Like, you can get only 3 kills, but also win. Or 3 kills and only second place, but that's better than 6 kills and not second place, if that makes sense. So, it's tough to say necessarily how many kills to make it viable. I think the better question is how many points per game make it viable. And at the end of the day, in these tournaments that are best of 3, best of 4, you typically want to have 8 to like, if you want to win, you want to have like 10 to 11 points per game on average. But certainly if you want to be top 10, like 8 to 9 points. But obviously they're playing to win. They might want even more than that. So it's it's less about how many kills and more so how many points, because placement is a big part of it. You kill a team, you knock them out of the squad placings, so that there's more room for you to be there higher up in the placements, right?
Yeah, look at zone.
Like 3 kills isn't just 3 kills. You also take that the placement of that team, and if that bumps you up another point, then that's really big.
They're like literally holding them out of zone. Yeah, we can hold them as well.
Yep.
Do we want to hold some crowd and rush?
I'm holding right here.
We want to walk up. We definitely want to walk up, because if we can apply pressure, then the team in the spawn is going to feel forced to push too.
Yeah.
I'm pushing up. Here it comes. The to our right.
And slow.
They just in the
They might have
zone?
went around, bro.
Why would they go around here? That's so weird.
They had to have went around, yeah. Dude, what the fuck are they doing?
That's weird.
We go train.
I definitely would expect a team to be there,
Can we go back around right and see if they're
especially
there?
with
I mean,
when the team's shooting. I see what you mean, Lou. You actually just don't find teams.
Are you guys lagging?
yeah, I was at the beginning.
What separates a
and
violent player from a diamond player? I think at the lower ranks, the biggest thing that separates players from each other is just mechanical skill.
Where's training?
It might be on train.
I don't think we take train.
Dude, I'm
Right here.
Wanna chase?
Most teams would take train here probably to
Wait,
get
go
in,
balloon, we can
but
hit
again,
Hit
complexity
blue,
doesn't.
hit blue, go train.
Yeah, we can trap them.
Yep.
But again, complexity doesn't care so much about hitting the train here.
Only fucking 10 seconds.
I have not done Need Squad, no.
You want to land like top box, and we can hold
No.
them?
I want to hold them in tunnel.
Complexity better at scrapping, or is everyone so scared of them because it's a little reckless? A little bit of both, Shred, but mainly because I think complexity punch for punch is probably the best three hard 3v3 team out there.
Okay.
They just got the tunnel.
Like, I can't think of a team that would beat them in a hard 3v3. I honestly can't. I might be biased because there are a lot of them are my friends, but at the same time, I've seen them play. I know what they can do, and I've hardly ever seen them lose it.
They're coming.
Sometimes it happens, obviously,
Shush.
but it's not fucking common.
I'm not making any noise. Get ready to beam the fuck out of this dude.
Yep.
I'm at the bottom of the staircase. Whenever you guys start shooting, I'm peeking.
Ready?
Pathfinder 1. Wraith 1.
He's one as well.
Push that shit. They're both fucking
Yep,
ones.
push it. Got the path.
Knocks.
Nice. Yeah, they're close. Good job.
Sure, Monster enjoyed
Of
that
course
one.
they're back here. Who else?
Trap.
One squad closer to
Good kills.
I was clean as
Where's
fuck.
the other
Maybe
team?
old
The
Sentinels?
other team could try to
They
hold us in
never
tunnel.
killed
We have to-
Maybe. I think Gold Sentinels could come close, but I think
Maybe.
it's probably. I think this version's probably better.
Unless I need TP. Okay.
I'm good on everything other than energy. I have 166.
I still think this team would take the problem if you put them in like a 3v3 against each other. I think complexity would probably win more.
Yeah. Nah,
Might not be
I don't
that
think
many
any
more,
team
but I think they would.
in the fucking world could have had any chance there. They just.
Reds, yeah. We don't know where the team that they were fighting
World drop, yeah.
is.
Yeah, because they still have to be rotating in. They might be
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from capital
So
side.
yeah, what they're talking about here is basically the team that they just eliminated was the team that was fighting a team or at least shooting at a team in thermal. So they're basically looking for that team now because they want to get those kills as well. Everybody's focused on rotating to the center of the zone. Complexity's just focused on killing everybody possible.
They
Yeah, that's
literally, it was first zone. They could have gone anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we just hold this. Can we trap for TP from team and drill?
Tire heat figure the follow.
Yeah.
I'm down. Trapping here is a little scary just because we could get
Go
taken
ahead
out
and
small.
get the world spawn. Go ahead and get the world spawn.
Not just Lou. I mean, all three of the players
They're
are
there.
good,
They're
Jeff.
peeking it. I'm gonna dome you.
But like, you can't
It's a Devo.
We're
it's a
safe
Devo.
here.
talk about
Go
Lou
grab
being
it.
us without like, for example, like
I can't.
Reptar's really good too. But I think like the two definitely like mechanical superstars on this team are Monsoon and Lou. Reptar, again, not to take away from Reptar. Reptar is a really fucking good player. He's a really smart player, and he almost never loses his, which is actually a massive thing. I think this team overall is just really fucking,
Diva. Hopefully they don't die.
really fucking
If
good.
you die, I'm ready on TP.
But
Queuing.
Good.
like they all do
We gotta-
things that
we
would
gotta look
impress you.
behind us. We
You know
gotta
what I
look
mean?
behind
Am I
us.
running Devo Havoc or should I just run this probable Diva?
Here, you want to trade with me? What do you want to trade? I have R9 Wingman. Give me something for the Devo. What would you rather have?
Okay, I'm Blue Bull Diva. I'm running this.
You're good?
Or purple bolt Eva. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Eva right there.
What do you...
I have my Eva.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so
You're good.
from this corner, we can TP and play underneath that building as well.
Yeah, if we...
I'm gonna set up your
I think,
left.
I think
We're
we're good.
big chilling right
We're
now.
chilling for a bit, yeah.
I hope someone just fucking runs into... I'm thinking, how can we trap a team that tries to run around
Oh, right
to our
there,
south
right there,
side?
right there.
Yeah,
Look
that's
up, look
that's
up.
It's so interesting
He's there.
to
on
want to
the,
find
okay,
teams to fight,
Can
but
we take
having
this fight?
that issue. Meanwhile, every other team on the map is trying to avoid each other, and they like run into each other. But Complexity's over here trying to find teams on the edge of the zone and trying to fight them. I think if anything, they might need to like
I have
look-
Diva.
they might need to start looking more into the
I'm gonna ult him, I'm forcing
into
bubble,
the
forcing
zone in
bubble,
general.
forcing bubble.
Like obviously, this is a good little bit of an isolated fight they can take it here.
Hey, Bubs,
Popping a bat.
I'm going with Mon, I'm going with Mon.
Okay, I'm popping a bat and then I'm running to your ult.
Oh fuck, dude, I got how did that hit me? They ulted on the right side.
Can we go back?
I got a Q, got a Q.
Go for it.
Just go back.
Yeah, we can.
Back up, back up.
Oh, you got.
Look at my bub. Make sure you get to my bub, because they're peeking over.
Yeah, you guys are good.
We're good to hold here, right?
Yeah. Nobody's gonna come over our cut north for sure. I'm gonna
They're
keep
coming
looking
over.
for
You see
damage.
them? Yeah,
Yeah,
come
they're
on, they're
looking
right on
posture.
top of like this little...
47. Wait, they're getting shit on from behind.
Yeah, they are.
One's dead.
83 and 83.
in the right.
Best
Right,
possible
in the open.
fucking scenario.
Knocked him.
Knock.
It's TSM. Come back. We don't want to take a fight on them right now.
Alp's full healing. I hit him for 130.
Come back, man. We're taking our spot.
Yeah.
I gotta pick.
Honestly, right now it seems like Monsoon's got to be on a bit of a leash right now.
I know what you mean.
So look at where I'm gonna be playing here.
I'll hold this lead.
I disagree, Bolandu. I think
mean,
this
the
is one of the
sun's
most
coming in,
stacked.
so I don't-
I think this tournament was one of the most stacked tournaments we've seen, probably since like online tournament 3, and then before that, even in just in general. This past tournament was fucking stacked. If they can get away with what they're doing and still have decent placings, in this tournament in particular, which they did, they placed 4th. I think it's a testament to how well the strategy could work.
I don't know if they're gonna want to take that choke or
This
what.
tournament was
I
stacked.
don't know, but I just want to make sure that they're
There were like
pushing into us.
15 really fucking good teams.
Come on, look
in
where I'm
this
at right now.
tournament.
This angle's fucking nuts if they push under.
They are home surgery, 100%.
There's
Like,
no
take
one
it from
on this
me,
whole
somebody
side
who
of the
knows a
map.
lot of the people, you know, that might be a lot of
Are
other
they
people
pushing
don't
more?
know.
What do you think?
This tournament was one of the most stacked NA tournaments possible.
Can we possibly slide take underneath the house instead of
Yeah, 100%. They're not looking right now. If you guys want to go.
Let's do it. I'm going. I don't think they're there anymore. Their fences on the roof are gone.
Okay.
Okay, let's take the building then.
I think this was
They're not here
energy
anymore.
that was in here.
Yeah, there's a team here, but that's
I'm taking it from the ramp.
Always interesting to watch one team for like a couple hours and then watch the team that like had
Get that
like
world spawn as
direct
well. I can dome you if you need it.
I have ult in 20%, so I'm gonna wait.
I
ahead
guess
and drop one of your
that
weapons
works like
on-
directly
before it comes out.
alongside them. Not necessarily works, you know what I mean.
I'm going.
Yeah, this is the hermit
Is
crab
that
right
building
here.
taken to our left, Mon? Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
and
The
underneath.
hermit crab principle.
I got PK. I got PK.
Nice. In the open right here. He's on gold. I hit him for 20 gold armor.
What about these two buildings over here? Not that one's not taken. That one's not taken, Mon. That building's not taken.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. TP for it. TP for the left one if you possibly can, if it's not taken. Left one's taken. Take the right one.
Yep, I'm going.
You can get bullied pretty badly here, Mon.
Yep.
We're in? We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright, cool.
I have ult. in
Alright,
20%.
the rare
Fuck the height of
complexity,
this building.
the
The height
rare
of this building is
complexity
trash. They're TPing
sighting.
down! They literally TP'd.
The rare complexity sighting
I'm
of
filming
holding
it.
a
I'm
building.
contesting this.
Okay, I ulted bottom.
On the roof! Broken! One! He's going through TV!
For 20 red, 20 red.
Just chill. Reset. It's fine. I'll hold the TP up top alone.
Yeah.
No, I have PK.
You have PK, yeah?
Is it wired, man? I can wire it.
Go wire.
I know.
I'm not gonna be reviewing 2SM, no.
Got wire off.
I don't review Liquid all the time either. I've only done them once.
Bro, let me place my wire game.
And yes, I definitely agree. At least this early, with like this many like angles, like technically they're like, in terms of drill, they're, and by that I mean like in terms of this, they're like right in the center here, right? So playing high ground here and playing in the second story, the cramped second story, only having 2 doors to come out of and like a window. These buildings, I think the first floor is very underrated, and that most teams always try to take the second story, which isn't a bad idea necessarily. As this circle closed, the second story would be better because they could play the roof. They shouldn't have anyone to their backs. But for now, the first floor is absolutely definitely a better call here.
Boys.
I think they dropped down to the
Maybe-
building to our right.
I think
they
it
dropped
would
down to the
maybe they were
building to
lucky.
our right.
No, this team's just really fucking good. No other, I think no other
Oh,
NA
I need
team
some. I need some.
can stand against
I'm coming up to you.
like the
I'm
improved in just a hard 3v3.
Oh shit, I forgot the TP. Yeah.
Dropped you two.
Thanks, buddy.
There's no luck.
carry
There's no
anything if you
luck.
guys need me to.
Are they still
When it comes
safe
to
up there?
fighting
I don't think
everything.
Or no?
No, they're not
Just
safe
doesn't
with it. No,
happen.
but they're
Alright,
safe
then
in the
we just
building to our
focus on-
right. They're safe
I
in the building
have
to our right.
reviewed Solifide, Larizzo.
Is there anybody in there?
No, not yet. What are they zipping to? They're zipping across. Look at them. Look at them. Knocks him. Knocks him. Knocks him.
Nice.
Get the finish. Get the
Fuck you,
finish.
Lou.
What HP on him?
Careful over here.
Got him. Got him. Got him.
Alright, got it.
Okay, back up. Just good. We're good.
I'm gonna go down and heal in the gen. Okay.
Yeah, that means it's a solo in here.
But notice as the circle starts to move,
Look here as well.
they're all of a sudden taking the top floor. It's game 4, Hebly, I think.
I only have 4
Actually-
shield cells.
Here, I can drop you 4. I have 8 or 12.
Wait,
I have
is it?
5. Wait, there's a big fight
Yeah, this is game
going
4.
over here. Big fight over northwest.
Yeah, I'm just filling up gen, then I'll go.
Come on, if you
I'm
can
not gonna be
see,
jealous of that
look,
team.
maybe look for a TP over there.
I don't have TP yet. I'm gonna look for a 120 pump on this Watson right here.
Okay. Okay.
Can you peek it with me? She's
Yeah, I'm
going
peeking
to
it.
Gigo peek. She's
I'm
going
peeking
to.
with me. Peeking with you.
Look at that. That's not a comm right there a lot of teams would make,
3,
man.
2,
Just how, like,
1.
them reading other players.
Nothing.
I
Look at
love
zone.
him
We have
counting
that
it
rock.
down, though.
Yeah.
We play the top of that
Like,
rock.
that right there is this, like, obviously, like, the Watson didn't do what they thought was going to happen, but that's like a comm right there. Like, the amount of, like, focus firing and the amount of listening that this team does to each other is unparalleled versus other teams. Like, if Monsoon makes a call, everyone's on it. Lou makes a call, everyone's on it. If anything, like, the biggest thing that the team needs, I think, to take away from what I've seen at least, is that the times they fail are when it's just when the comms fail. So,
I think we should maybe go up there now.
I think we should too. I'm doing it. I'm going
Okay.
up. Man, I think you need to
in all
check it
fairness,
out.
they have some shit games also because they were so aggressive. There's a lot of luck in positioning. The other team's rotation. There's not. I disagree. There's not a lot of luck in positioning. There isn't as much luck as you might think there is. Every team knows how to play every circle accordingly. They know how many teams they're gonna run into. They know, like if you have a team, for example, that lands train like Liquid, and there's a zone in Dome, Liquid knows exactly what spots they're gonna be able to take because of the spots of the teams available. They know how, all the teams in the tournament that are playing. There isn't luck in position. Most of it is known, and what you're gonna get, and you know how to work, and then you have to play off of that from what you get. So, this tournament is stacked. If there's any tournament that they pulled this strat off and it works pretty decently, and it's this one. I mean, my point is they can make this work in any lesser stacked lobby for sure. It's not luck. Positioning is all like every team knows how other teams play. It's not like this is the first time they're seeing each other.
Yeah, I
there
think
could
you
be
have
a
to check
team
him
up
on.
there.
You have to
I'll
check
check
it.
it out. I'll check it out.
They're saying they always
Good
have the
on
same
me, good on me,
rotations
good on
and
me,
there's
good
no
on me.
energy.
We're coming, we're
RNG? No. Not saying that. But you're saying positioning is luck. But if you're reading different circles and different rotations, there's RNG in the rotations, there isn't RNG in positioning. Because depending on every team knows how to play different circles. They've done it a million times. From the spots that they play. They've practiced it a million times. So yes, there's RNG in the circle. There's not RNG in positioning. Because those are two different things. Those aren't the same.
I have visual.
I need a bubble
I
first.
need to be on. Okay, no. Don't, no.
Alright. I'm pressuring the team on the west.
Drop me one bat one.
They're looking to push up on us.
Yeah, they have good angles on us.
It's okay. I PK'd one for 60 and one for 30. I just cracked one on gold. Hit 110.
I cracked him. I hit him for 40 flash.
Cracked another. Cracked another. Yeah, the
This is a
bubble.
good spot. This is a really good spot for
them,
them
fuck
to
Make
be.
sure. Yeah, don't-
When you're
don't-
rotating in on this circle, so this circle's like pretty out in the open. You want to be on the fucking far end, like the high ground end of this.
What are we doing?
This is
Are
a
we
really
just
good
jumping
smart
in?
spot.
Can you put fences over
Really
your
smart,
Reptar so that no one does what we did?
Yeah.
Really smart
If we're
rotate
still
here.
up on the rock, we just play the rock.
Yeah.
I have PK.
They're at our building now.
Yeah, it's fine. If it's liquid, it's only 2.
It's not Liquid. Liquid's dead, I think.
Yeah, okay, Lou.
47 over here on purple. Watson inside.
Yo, look at this crack right here. You have free shots. Free shots on that crack. I can't shoot because I have Havoc. I only have 80 bullets. We're right there in that left car.
I need to heal.
All right, we need to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, we just go west onto the rock. That's in the zone.
So the
right
two
here.
teams are
There
gonna
we
try.
go.
There's gonna be a ton of fights there, so we need to take the high ground.
Yeah, 100%. We just take.
Don't take too much damage going in. Look, that team's trying to do that now. They're trying to get up on the roof of that building.
Okay,
I'm moving up a bit. I'm moving in.
I'm
Yup,
on
yup.
low.
We're good. We're good. Look at the roof. Look at the roof. The roof's gonna peek our side.
I need to pop a cell.
The team's above us. This team's above us.
Yep.
I'm ulting them.
Yeah, ult them off.
Look at this right here.
They don't have up.
I don't know about looking at that fight right there.
I'm dumbing.
I don't know about looking at that fight.
I'm watching them. I have Devo. I'm watching the Devo. They're pushing. I'm dead, dude.
I gotta get. We can win this one.
I'm dead.
He's dead.
I'm self-resing.
Hold your self-res, man. Hold it up. We can get third here.
Trying. I think I got third. I think I did.
No, we got
I
fourth.
got killed out.
I know. I got tunneled. That's my bad.
Yeah.
I got tunneled. I'm sorry. Man. I'm dead, dude.
That's
Just don't. Pop a
so.
cell.
This
The
is
team's above us. This
something
team's above
I
us.
simply talk about a lot in my VOD reviews of any team. Anytime you make a big end game rotation,
Yep.
I'm ulting
and I'm not saying this for complexity's sake. Lou immediately realized what he did wrong,
them.
but 100%.
Look at this right here.
This is as you rotate, make these really difficult rotates. You always have to identify the team. Like, yes, like this could get you a lot of kill points right here, right? That's what Lou is trying to go for. He sees two teams fighting. He wants to get the kill points. Totally understandable, because that's kind of what their whole game plan is, anyways. But he's neglecting right here immediately. He's neglecting the other side. That's actually the more important side. You always need to identify the first and foremost most important team for you to actually that's most detrimental to you, and it's definitely the team behind. Like, you see, like right here where like Monster and Reptar get kind of shredded. Like, look, before when he finally turns around, Reptar's won. Monsoon lost all of his HP, or armor rather, and the team is literally right at their doorstep.
I'm dumbing.
They domed right on his ult. I get what Lou was going for here. He threw the ult at that team. He threw his ult at that team, and then he wanted to look for third parties. He was hoping that that ult would stop this team from pushing, right? It would zone them or do a lot of damage to them. But that team had a Gibraltar, and they threw the dome into Lou's ult, which is not what I'm assuming is not what he anticipated, because I think he looked a little surprised turning around, and all of a sudden they're right on his doorstep. So this ult that Lou threw, basically,
I'm ulting them.
so Lou wanted to throw this ult to stop the other team from pushing them, to kind of like stall, so they can look for other kill points.
Look at this right here.
But that other team had a Gibraltar,
I'm dumbing.
and that's what threw everything in, kind of in. That's what threw a wrench in the plan.
I'm watching them. I have Devo. I'm watching the Devo.
They
They're
had
pushing.
a Gibraltar, or at least was banking on that they didn't have a Gibraltar.
I'm dead, dude.
I gotta get. We can win this one.
I'm dead.
He's dead.
I'm self-resing.
But again, if he's paying attention to that side, regardless, even without the ult, I think that fight goes a lot differently. But they kind of blindsided Lou while he wasn't paying, or Lou's team while Lou wasn't paying attention. Or rather, it was focused elsewhere.
Hold your self-res, man.
Unfortunately, they still
Hold
got
it,
good
hold it up.
placement.
We
I
can
mean,
get third
4
here.
squads. I think they got fourth.
I think I got third. I think I did.
No, we got
I
fourth.
got killed out.
I know. I got tunneled. That's my bad. I got
Again,
tunneled.
Lou
I'm sorry.
immediately
I
recognized
thought
it.
I was just getting horny for picks. That's 4th to 6,
Fourth
man.
to
Not a bad game.
It was a nice try. It was
That
a
is a
nice
good. That is actually a good game.
Points. Like, it's a good consistent game. We just
I didn't
did
think
this
they were
last game,
pushing up one like that.
absolutely
I didn't know they were pushing that hard.
So that's, yeah, I think Reptar said, I think that's 12 points. That's all you need. If you get 4th and 6th every game, you're likely probably winning the tournament. Like, that's all. Like, a lot of people think you need like big wins and whatnot. You really don't. You just need a solid, like, I mean, every tournament is a bit different, but on average, if you want to win, you need like 12-13 points a game. And that's might not seem like a lot, but it's hard. That is hard to pull off consistently.